color and its subtle influence.
Have you ever noticed how two identical rooms can feel completely different just because of their colors? One feels tense, the other feels calm. Nothing changed except the paint on the walls. That reaction is not random. Color shapes how we feel, think, and even behave, often before we consciously realize it. Color is not magic, but it is powerful. When light enters your eyes, specialized cells detect different wavelengths and send signals to your brain. Those signals do not stop at visual processing. They interact with areas linked to memory and emotion. That is why color can trigger a feeling almost instantly without you deciding to feel it. Let's start with red. Red is impossible to ignore. It has one of the longest wavelengths in the visible spectrum, which makes it visually dominant. Your brain processes it as important. That is why stop signs, warning lights, and sale banners so often use red. It signals urgency and demands attention within fractions of a second. But red does more than attract attention. In certain contexts, it can increase physiological arousal, including slight increases in heart rate. Studies in competitive sports have shown that athletes wearing red are sometimes perceived as more dominant. In social settings, red clothing has been linked to higher perceived attractiveness. Context determines whether red feels exciting, romantic, or stressful. Now imagine standing under a clear blue sky. Your breathing slows, your shoulders relax. Blue is consistently associated with calmness and trust across many studies in environmental and marketing psychology. This helps explain why banks, technology companies, and corporate brands frequently use blue in their logos. It communicates stability without aggression. Blue can also influence how we think. Some research suggests cooler tones may support analytical focus, while warmer tones may encourage creative exploration. However, blue is not universally positive. Dark or desaturated blues can feel distant or somber, which is reflected in language like feeling blue. The emotional tone shifts with shade and context. Then there is yellow, the color most closely associated with sunlight. Yellow grabs attention quickly and can feel energetic and optimistic. In moderate amounts, it can stimulate mental activity and create a sense of warmth. That is why it often appears in storefront displays and advertising designed to feel cheerful. Yet, yellow also demonstrates how intensity matters. Highly saturated yellow environments can become visually fatiguing. When overstimulating, it may contribute to irritability rather than happiness. This does not mean yellow is negative. It means color works best in balance. A bright accent energizes a space. Too much overwhelms it. Green feels different. Think about forests after rain or wide open fields. Humans evolved in natural environments, so green landscapes are often linked to restoration and safety. Research in environmental psychology shows that exposure to green spaces can reduce stress and improve mood. Hospitals and wellness brands often use green for this reason. There is also a visual reason green feels comfortable. It sits near the center of the visible light spectrum, which makes it easier for the eye to process compared to extreme wavelengths. Beyond nature, green is associated with wealth and stability in many Western cultures, largely due to its historical link to currency. Orange blends the stimulation of red with the brightness of yellow. It tends to signal warmth, sociability, and enthusiasm. Purple carries historical associations with luxury and spirituality, because it was once rare and expensive to produce as a dye. Black often conveys authority and sophistication, while white suggests cleanliness and simplicity in many societies. But here is the crucial point. Color does not operate in isolation. Lighting, contrast, texture, cultural background, and personal memory all shape how a color is experienced. A red warning light and a red rose send entirely different emotional messages. The meaning comes from context as much as wavelength. Culture plays a major role. In many Western societies, white symbolizes weddings and purity. In parts of East Asia, white is traditionally linked to mourning. Red signals luck and celebration in China, but danger in other settings. These associations are learned early and become deeply ingrained over time. Marketers understand this well. Studies show that people form first impressions about products within seconds, and color is one of the first visual cues processed. While color alone does not determine purchasing decisions, it can reinforce brand identity and influence how trustworthy, energetic, or premium something feels at a glance. You can use the same principle intentionally. If you want a workspace that encourages focus, incorporating cooler tones like blue or soft green may support that atmosphere. If you want a living room that feels warm and social, earthy tones or muted orange accents can help. Small design choices accumulate into emotional patterns. Clothing works the same way. Dark neutrals often communicate professionalism and authority. Brighter colors can signal openness or creativity. The key is alignment between environment and intention. When color supports your goal, your space and appearance begin to work with you instead of against you. Color is not controlling your mind. It is influencing perception in subtle, measurable ways. These effects are usually modest, but they are consistent enough to matter. Once you become aware of them, you begin to see color not just as decoration, but as a quiet layer of psychological design shaping your everyday life. The next time you pick out an outfit or decorate a room, take a moment to think about the colors you're choosing. What message are you sending to your own brain? What's your favorite color, and how does it make you feel? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences with the power of color. And if you found this interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of everyday life. See you next time.